Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, it is once again time for RPG a Day 2022. This is day two. As I mentioned in the previous video, I am going to do several videos in one sitting, basically. So you'll see basically everything, from what I'm wearing to, my background is going to remain the same for the next couple of videos. I'm going to be very busy next week, and I probably won't have the time to do these one a day. So I'm just going to kind of front load the whole week, and they'll drop each day. I'll look to have them drop around 7 p.m. Each day, and then Friday I'll get caught up again and start recording again Friday for fresh. So without further ado, let's talk about what is a great introductory RPG. So if I were to if I were to bring a whole new group of players into tabletop role playing, which would be the game of my choice, the one that I think that they would have the easiest time getting into right from the get go, and I would say by far the best, in my opinion, is Dungeons and Dragons, and in particular, I'm using the basic set. This is the 1983, revised by Frank Metzner. So this was a series of box sets that came out starting in '83, and basically it covers basic, then expert, then companion, followed by masters, and then immortals, which isn't really a D&D game. It's different. And that's according to Frank Metzner as well. So, but the reason why I think that this is a really good system to introduce players to is that it's of course it's a continuation and really a revised version of OD&D, and it makes those revisions, it packages them very well. And this particular series, what I like about it is that the basic set covers just levels 1 through 3. And so when players and dungeon masters are just having to focus on the first 3 levels of a system that's very basic and easy to understand, and it just makes it a lot easier. They don't have so much content in front of them that they can get lost in expectations of where their characters can actually go to. I really like the very piecemeal way that this system just eases new players or new dungeon masters into the art of running and playing tabletop role playing games. So what I also really like about this, and there's a playthrough, there's very very succinct explanations of things. It just is a really well put together book, and the way that it just walks the players or the dungeon master through the process of what is role playing games, and then how does the system work. It's really really well done. So and the same goes for the dungeon masters rule book as well. It just lays it out, teaches the new dungeon master how to set up your first game, recording an adventure record sheet and going through that. The various charts are right there, all of the procedures that you can obviously take in and do them all, or you can exclude some to your taste. So there is that modular kind of feel to it. Then a section on monsters, and then how to handle treasure, then the whole process of creating dungeons and creating adventures, on your own as well. It really is running the full scope of what is necessary to be a dungeon master, but still limiting it down to just the first three levels of gameplay. And so it just makes it a much more accessible system for introducing new players to tabletop role playing in general, and then new players to Dungeons and Dragons more specifically. So once again, D&D, BECME, basic expert, basic. I always screw it up. Basic expert, companion, master, and immortal sets. So going to leave it there. I hope you like this video. If you have other game systems that you want to mention are your best, or you're doing the same series, then just let me know. Hey, on my channel, I'm doing day as well, RPG a day as well, and I'll certainly pop over and take a look at your take on some of these prompts as well. So have a great evening. I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. And, as always, just keep on gaming and keep on looking to bring new players into the hobby. And, once they're here, make sure that you're opening doors for them to check out a variety of different genres and games and everything. As always, don't limit them to just one game system. Like I said, this might be the greatest in my view of bringing players in, but then don't just stay here. Move on to other things as well. So again, thanks for joining. Have a great evening.